Well, today we are going to learn how to create an empty data frame using Pyspark. So in this video, I will explain how to create an empty Pyspark data frame or RDD manually with or without a schema in different ways. Okay, so uh, I will create a data frame. First, I will create empty RDD. Okay, so, what is the necessity of this? While working with the file, sometimes we may not receive a file for processing. Okay, so we will still need to create a data frame manually with the same schema we expect. If we don't create with the same schema, our operations or transformations on data frame fail. That is why we need to create a empty data frame. To handle this situation, we will create the same schema as it mentioned for avoiding this situation. So let's create a first RDD. We will import the our Spark session from Pyspark dot SQL import Spark session. We will create our Spark object Spark session dot builder dot app name, and we can give it a name create empty data frame or RDD. Dot get or create. Okay, so our cluster is in running mode. We can run this. Now we can give it a variable empty RDD spark dot. So while creating a RDD, we have to import our Spark context also. Spark context, and we have a function empty RDD for creating a empty RDD. Empty RDD. We can print also. Print empty RDD. Let's run. So it will display an object that is a native method accessor object at empty RDD. We can see this. Okay. We have a alternate ways also for creating a RDD, like RDD2 spark dot spark context. For creating a RDD, we have a parallelize function also. And in parallelize function, we can pass the empty list. Like this, we can create and we can print RDD2. Let's see what is the another way. So we can create empty data frame with schema. Which type is schema? Schema type is struct type. We can use for creating empty data frame. So for this, first we have to import all the schema functions like struct type, struct field, and what are the for the variables for the data types, string type, and all that. So let's import Pyspark dot SQL dot types. We have a types module. Import struct type. We can import struct field and string string type for creating a data frame with schema. So we are going to provide a schema like first name, middle name, and last name. Let's create a schema. Struct type and in list struct field and struct field we can name it like a first name and first name is the type of string type. It's true. And another tuple like struct field and we can give it name like uh, second middle name and the type is string type. True. Struct field we can give the name last name string sorry guys string type and it will be true. Okay, now we will create a data frame dev spark dot we have a function create data frame for creating a data frame using PySpark. Create data frame and we will pass that empty rdd which we created earlier. Empty rdd and we can pass the schema. Now we will print the schema. Print dev dot print schema. Let's run. Name struct type is not defined. Where let's see struct type. Struct type struct field first name string time comma true, that is right. Struct field again, we have a middle name string type, okay, so we missed the bracket, and struct field last name string type, and that is true, and all the brackets are closed. Let's run. Struct type is not defined. Okay, so we have not imported string type, so by mistake it's a string type, so it should be struct type. Let's run. Okay, we can see the schema first name, middle name, last name, and we can print the data frame also. Print def. Yeah, so we have a just empty data frame, that is first name, middle name, and last name. So like this, we can create a data frame, empty data frame basically. We have another way also, like we can use the empty data frame to empty data frame to like we can create a empty RDD to empty data frame. So how can we do that? Df1 is equal to empty. We have a empty RDD already created. So we have a function to df for creating a data frame, and we can pass the schema. Here we can also df1 dot print a schema. Let's run. Like this, we can also create a empty data frame while using the create empty data frame, empty RDD. I'm sorry. Next approach we can take like a create a empty data frame with schema. So how can we do? Let's create a df2 data frame spark dot create data frame, and we can pass the empty list with schema, and we can print data frame df2. Okay, yeah, we can see here we have a just empty data frame. And another way also, we can create a empty data frame without schema. That means there is a no column in a schema, so we can pass the empty list, and all the schema type is like a struct type, empty struct type. So how can we do it? So let's create df3. Suppose df3 is spark dot create data frame, and we can pass the empty list, and with no schema. For this we have a struct type, and here we can pass the empty list. Like this we can create a print. Suppose I'm going to print df3. So like this we can get the empty data frame, you can see here. So in this video we talked about the 5 approaches basically. Let's see one by one. So we can create a empty RDD. Empty RDD first. Empty RDD is like we have a function empty RDD, and for empty RDD, for creating empty RDD, we have a parallelize function, and we can pass the empty list there. So third way is like we can pass the we can create the schema, and we can create a data frame with empty RDD using with the schema, and we can also create an empty data frame. We have already created an empty RDD, and we will convert into the data frame. For this we have a function to def for converting the RDD to data frame. And the last one, we can also pass the creating data frame, we can pass the empty list with the schema. And not the last one, but the Spark create data frame, we can pass the empty list with no columns. So for that we can also pass the struct type with the empty list. So like this we can create a empty RDD and empty data frame. Thank you so much, guys.